Well, we're into the disaster. Block is good. Head not so much. And definitely not a Colt Stage 4 camshaft. So this engine is one of the guys from the community page that he brought to me. He was having some problems. If you haven't checked out this video, you should go check out the teardown video. We're going through getting this thing fixed up and make it right. But any of you guys that are interested, there is some exclusive stuff that we're doing on the community page for this engine, and then for other stuff, questions, tech support, all that stuff is happening over there. And then eventually we'll be doing some exclusive build stuff over there. And yeah, anyways, let's get on with the video. All right, let's check out this engine that we have of one of the community page guys. One of the guys on the community brought me this engine and wants it fixed right. He has a beautiful truck. We did do a teardown video. I'll put a link in the description for that. If you want to go check that video out first, you can see why we tore this thing down. And we found more bad, typically bad, which sucks. So this engine has 2,000 kilometers on it, which is what? I don't know, a little over 1,000 miles. And now I know lots of guys are going to say, oh, you're allowed to have cracks and you're blah, 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 blah. No, not into it. I'm not big into the cracks. So if you have a crack in something, the crack isn't going to get better. You just leave the crack. Guess what happens? Eventually the crack goes the other side. The other side of this is coolant, eventually. Now, yes, can it go a long ways before it hits coolant? Yes. Is it going to be a problem right away? Yeah, maybe not. But I'm not willing, for the price of one of these cylinder heads, it doesn't make sense to me. This engine cost a lot of money. So there is no reason it should have had any cracks in the cylinder head. Now, there is instances where you can leave cracks, okay? Or allowable cracks. Now, in one of these things, if the seat itself is cracked, you can cut that seat out and then put a new seat insert in and fix the crack. But when you cut the old seat out, if it doesn't go through the crack, you really shouldn't leave it like that. Now, I do have customers that want to leave it, and that's completely up to them. Obviously, I can't warranty that there isn't going to be a problem. It doesn't make sense to me. On certain heads, you know what, heads that are expensive, hard to replace, it kind of is what it is, right? These are not that expensive, and they're not that hard to replace. Now, this one is cracked. I don't know if you'll be able to see that there or not. Right above my fingernail, the crack goes from, well, they put a seat in here, but it goes from the seat pocket into the injector hole. That's not a good spot to be cracked. And then it also, in here, it did the exact same thing. So, to me, that head, junk. The only thing we're going to use off of this head is the valve springs, which are just 60-pound valve springs, nothing extravagant. And then the next kind of bummer thing, if I don't fall over here, is this is supposed to be a Colt Stage 4 camshaft, and it is definitely not that. It is a regrind camshaft. Somebody has reground it, but I don't know what it is. There's no markings, there's no nothing on it. There's nothing wrong with the camshaft, so we are going to use it. I'm going to have to deburr it because it's like, well, I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's like a big burr, ugly burr there. And they're not like that on a couple journals. I don't know what the deal is there. But anyways, we'll have to deburr that and then rewash it. On the block side of things, we checked out the main caps. And the reason for the dowels sticking in was they did not install the dowels back into the caps properly. So we checked the main bore. The main bore is good. There's no problems with the main bore. That's cool. No cracks, none of that. And then on the bore side, we did surface it and bore it. Or not bore it, honed it. We had to hone it another half a thou bigger to get the RPK and RVK that I like to run on these. Now, it is at like 7.5, 8 thou. It's pretty good size. So that is part of the reason that we coated the pistons. Now, I'm kind of a proponent of coating pistons. I like coated pistons. Some guys do, some guys don't. Whatever floats your boat. I like it. I think it's worth the money. So tops are done, skirts are done on all of them. I'm not going to unwrap them just yet until we go to assemble it. I want to keep everything as clean as possible. I will clean them before we assemble. The rods we went through, bushings are all good in the rods, big end is all good, and I've just started setting stuff out as everything comes in, so I know I have everything set out, and I am going to go through and actually check the balance on it. It is supposed to be balanced, but there's no... Now, that being said, not always will there be witness marks, because if everything, you know, piston to rod to pin and all that stuff all works out, sometimes you don't have to, as long as, you know, you can get it, you know, within a reasonable amount. You know, if you're doing a race one, if this was a race balance, there definitely would be marks on everything. But this is just a, you know, like what I would classify as a work stock balance. It's nothing extravagant. You're just trying to make it as good as you can. I'll probably go a little above and beyond because I tend to do that. But if it's close, we'll just leave it alone. Now, I got the bearings. We're just using P series bearings in this thing, but nothing extravagant. The tri-metal bearing doesn't need to be anything crazy, but a better than OEM bearing. Same with on the mains. I do have to go through and clean all of the paint off of a bunch of stuff though. So there's a bunch more work involved in that. Rockers look okay, pins look okay. The tappets, I just got a will Scotch-Brite and just clean everything up, but the camshaft looks perfect, so I imagine everything's fine. Push rods look good. Everything else, I do need to, we blasted that stuff. We are painting this engine green. So everything needs to get blasted. All the bolts, all the brackets, everything has to get cleaned and blasted. So there's still a few more hours of cleaning and blasting. Plus I also have to build another cylinder head to replace this guy. Which there again, not a huge deal, just time is time. A lot of hours go into one of these things. Like we're probably, I don't know how deep I'm into this. I'd have to actually sit down and figure out how many hours we're into this, but we're into it for quite a few hours already. And this is where it sits. Like, yes, it's part of the way, like the crankshaft is polished and cleaned, ready for its final clean before it goes into the block. But you know, we're probably, you know, by the time I clean all the bolts, the rest of the brackets, probably 3 or 4 more hours into cleaning stuff. Oh, and I got to laser the block off, laser the new head off. So there's another couple hours. So yeah, there's probably 5 hours of cleaning left on this thing. Anyways, probably maybe even more than that. Actually, I do have a question for you guys. If any of you guys have or know, I have a little tumbler here. Don't mind the mess. I'm starting to clean up and pack up stuff for moving. I got this little tumbler here, or vibrating tumbler, and it does work okay. It has like a needle bearing, stainless steel needle bearing shot. I don't know if you call it shot or not, but stainless steel bearings in it. And it works okay. But I'm just curious if there's anybody that has experience with like that type of deburring cleaning thing. I would like to have something that I can just throw these bolts in and have them perfectly clean afterwards. You know, if I have to do a little bit of stuff, it's not a huge deal, but I would like something to do that with. If that's something you know about, let me know in the comments what I should do. Maybe I should use that, but with different media in it. I don't know. Or what I'm supposed to use for a solution. Right now I put WD-40 in it so that it doesn't rust. That was my idea for their WD-40. Maybe that was the wrong thing to put in there. I don't know. But, oh yeah, and then we got the balancer, but the balancer, we're going to put a new balancer on. So that's not a huge deal. We'll just be putting a new one of those. And then I also still have to pull the transmission apart. We're just checking the 5th gear on it because the guys that built the engine also did a 5th gear fix. Well, did a 5th gear fix. So we're going to pull that apart and check it, at least make sure they did it. So anyways, that's where we're at with this thing right now. Just figured I better get a little update going on. I got a couple more builds coming down the pipe for you guys. And I actually got a bunch of different videos and stuff that I've started, but I haven't finished anything yet. Between the shop, working on the new shop, and packing up here, and we're busy in the shop, and I know it's excuses. But that's where I'm at anyways. But I would like to give a shout out to Area Diesel. I actually just pulled this out of they sent me this, and I was supposed to hang it up, but I haven't done it yet. But I think I might just wait until we get to the new shop to hang that up. But I would like to give them a shout out. The injection pump that's in Peg's Volkswagen bus, these guys helped us out with, and just wanted to give them a shout out because I seen that. And also, they did send me a Christmas present, and I appreciate the Christmas present, boys. Didn't fit, but it fits my wife, so that's almost as good as fitting me. But it was a really nice hoodie. I appreciate that. Anyways, if you guys would like to be on the community, if you're looking for help, tech questions, any of that type of stuff, go down in the description, and there's a link for it in there. If you want to be part, there you are. Keep shiny side up. And remember, it's not rocket science.